listening or watching Radio Afinju. The time is 6 p.m.
Ẹ bá mi pè o. Àfíjù. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfíjù. Rédíò. Àfíjù. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfíjù. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfíjù. Lórí WhatsApp. Àfíjù. Instagram. Àfíjù. Facebook. Àfíjù. Lórí X. Àfíjù. Lórí YouTube. Àfíjù. Lórí TikTok. Àfíjù. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfíjù. Ẹ bá mi pè o. Àfíjù. Rédíò. Àfíjù. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfíjù. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfíjù. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfíjù. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfíjù. Rédíò Àfíjù. Rédíò Àfíjù. Rédíò Àfíjù.
This is the world news on Radio Afinju.
First, a look at the highlights. Tinubu to attend Ladoja's coronation as 44th Olubadan. 2 persons dead, many injured at Daycon factory explosion. Trump adds fee for skilled worker visa applicants starting 21st September. Good evening and welcome to the World News on Radio Afinju. My name is Pearl Durotoye. The news in detail. To celebrate the coronation of former governor of Oyo State, Rashidi Ladoja, as the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land, President Bola Tinubu is set to join prominent Yoruba monarchs, political leaders, and thousands of Ibadan sons and daughters in the Oyo State capital. The chairman of the Planning and Organizing Committee, Bayo Oyero, unveiling details of the coronation program while speaking to newsmen earlier, stated that the week-long activities will reflect the inclusive and rich cultural heritage of Ibadan. The program, jointly outlined by the Oyo State Government and the Coronation Committee, will start on Monday, September 22nd, while Ladoja will ascend the throne on Friday, September 26th, 2025, at the historic Mapo Hall ground. Oyero emphasized that the coronation transcends Ibadan as it symbolizes Yoruba heritage, Nigerian culture, and African pride. President Bola Tinubu has granted automatic employment to the 4 children of the late head of the civil service of the Federal Capital Territory, Grace Adailo, who died recently. The announcement was made by the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, at the Adailo's funeral service held at the National Ecumenical Center in Abuja. The solemn ceremony drew top government officials, civil servants, relatives, and friends who came to honor her memory. Wike lauded Adailo as a devoted, humble, and hard-working public servant whose impact on the FCT administration would not be forgotten, calling her passing a painful loss. He went on to commend the Dailu service, highlighting a role in ensuring prompt payment of workers' salaries and benefits, as well as an influence as a respected mobilizer within our community. Over the non-implementation of the new national minimum wage and long-standing welfare issues, the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives at the Durotoye Akintola University of Technology Teaching Hospital, Ogbomoso, Oyo State, have commenced an indefinite strike. The association, in a statement released by the unit's chairman, Ojewumi Olutayo, and secretary Adedokun Foluwake in Ibadan, the state capital, today, explained that the strike began on Friday as no meaningful steps were taken to address its demand despite repeated engagements and reminders. The strike followed the expiration of a 15-day ultimatum issued by the association to the management of the hospital. The union stressed that the prolonged delay in meeting these obligations has created financial strain, low morale, and attrition of skilled personnel in the hospital. The Nigerian Copyright Commission has raided bookshops in Ibadan, Oyo State, over the sale of pirated books, arresting several suspects and sealing multiple outlets. It was gathered that the operation carried out today was led by the Oyo State Coordinator of NCC, Oluropo Oke, with support from operatives of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC. According to Oke, the raid was part of the Commission's mandate to control piracy, especially during the school season when books demand surges, as many of the shops lacked proper purchase records, receipts, or documentation for their stock. She warned that both sellers and shop owners who obstruct enforcement officers will face prosecution, adding that excuses that publishers or authors failed to make books available in the market could not justify the sale of pirated works. Oke assured that suspects arrested during the operation would be prosecuted in line with the law. In an explosion that occurred at the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria, Deacon factory located in the Kakuri industrial area of Kaduna South local government, Kaduna State, 2 persons are being confirmed dead and several others sustained various degrees of injuries. Although the management of Deacon has yet to release an official statement on the cause of the explosion, it was gathered that the sound of the explosion shook communities located within the Kaduna South and Chikun local government areas. Following the incident, the entire general area where the Deacon factory is located has been cordoned off by military personnel, while the victims have been rushed to nearby hospitals for urgent medical treatment. The details of the incident, which occurred earlier in the day, are still emerging, and the cause of the explosions is yet to be determined. More than 25 terrorists have been killed in a coordinated night air operation of the Nigerian Air Force at Bula in Yobe and Banki axis of Borno State. The Force Director of Public Relations and Information, Ehimen Ejodame, in a statement released in Abuja, revealed that the operations were conducted following intelligence from ground troops. He said a force package of intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance ISR assets and strike aircraft tracked terrorist movements and identified multiple ground groups north of Banki, while real-time updates were transmitted to ground forces and base operations, enabling coordinated action. Ejodame said the operation underscored NAF's decisive support to ground troops, denial of terrorist freedom of action, and unwavering commitment to securing Nigeria's northeast. On the foreign scene, as the South Africa's Democratic Alliance Party seeks to win back control of the country's biggest city in next year's local government election, the party has announced that former leader Helen Zille would be its next candidate for mayor of Johannesburg. 74-year-old Zille was widely regarded as the main architect of the party's political strategy in last year's national election, in which the ruling African National Congress lost its majority for the first time, forcing it to share power with second-placed DA and a host of smaller parties. The party aims to project stability and competence and to replace the success it has had in governing Cape Town, Johannesburg's economic rival, which is often praised for its better service delivery by nominating Zille. Zille, in a nomination acceptance speech, promised better delivery of water, electricity, road repair, and refuse services. In Europe, in a move to prevent and secure airspace in areas adjacent to the threatened area after Russia fired 40 missiles and about 580 drones at Ukraine in a massive attack that killed 3 and wounded dozens, Poland ordered fighter aircraft to take off. Armed forces of the NATO member countries' operational command, in a post on X, said that Polish and Allied aircraft were deployed earlier in the day to ensure the safety of Polish airspace after Russia launched airstrikes targeting western Ukraine near the border with Poland. It was gathered that nearly all of Ukraine was under air raid alerts after Ukrainian Air Force warnings of Russian missile and drone attacks. In the meantime, the Polish command have now stated that Polish and Allied air forces ended the operation as airstrikes by the Russian Federation against Ukraine were ceased. In the Americas, the U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order that will add a $100,000 annual fee for applicants to the H-1B visa program for skilled foreign workers. Trump's order mentions abuse of the program, a non-immigrant visa that allows U.S. employers to temporarily hire foreign workers in specialty occupations and will restrict entry unless payment is made. Critics have long argued that H-1Bs undercut the American workforce, while supporters, including billionaire Elon Musk, argue it allows the U.S. to attract top talent from around the world. In another order, Trump set up a new gold card to fast-track visas for certain immigrants in exchange for fees starting at £1 million. The U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said Trump's order is due to come into force on 21st September and would only apply to new requests, while companies would have to pay the same amount for each applicant for 6 years. In the Middle East, Gazan health authorities have complained that Israel's military has kept up with its assault on Gaza City and the wider Gaza Strip. According to the authorities, the assault dismantled underground shafts and booby-trapped structures, leaving 34 Palestinians dead. The assault came as 10 countries, including Australia, Belgium, Britain, and Canada, are scheduled to formally recognize an independent Palestinian state on Monday ahead of the annual leaders' gathering at the UN General Assembly. Israel's intensified military demolition campaign targeting high-rise buildings in Gaza City began this week alongside a ground assault. Now talking sports, Serie A club Atalanta supporting striker Ademola Lookman's availability for Sunday's Serie A clash with Torino has been confirmed. Atalanta head coach Ivan Juric confirmed the development but said the Nigeria international is not in his best physical condition. Lukman, who is yet to feature for the Bergamo club this season, trained with his Atalanta teammates for the first time on Thursday since pushing to join Inter Milan during the transfer window. The winger, however, made 2 appearances for Nigeria 2 weeks ago. Still talking sports, thousands of West Ham fans held a protest against how the club is run, calling for Chairman David Sullivan and Vice Chair Karen Brady to step down. The demonstrations took place before their home game against Crystal Palace, with Graham Potter's side 18th in the Premier League with only 3 points from 4 matches and already out of the Carabao Cup. 2 separate protests close to their London stadium home saw thousands of supporters march to the ground holding a variety of banners and flags calling for change at the club. The protests come 2 weeks after West Ham's Fan Advisory Board, who represent more than 25,000 supporters, issued a vote of no confidence in the club's board. Before we go, here again are the highlights. To celebrate the coronation of former governor of Oyo State, Rashidi Ladoja, as the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land, President Bola Tinubu is set to join prominent Yoruba monarchs, political leaders and thousands of Ibadan sons and daughters in the Oyo State capital on September 26th. In an explosion that occurred at the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria, Deacon Factory, located in the Kakuri industrial area of Kaduna South Local Government, Kaduna State, 2 persons have been confirmed dead and several others sustained various degrees of injuries, with more reports expected. And on the foreign scene, we brought to you that the United States President Donald Trump has signed an executive order that will add a $100,000 annual fee for applicants to the H-1B visa program that allows U.S. employers to temporarily hire foreign workers in specialty operations and will restrict entry unless payment is made from September 21st. And that was the world news on Radio Afinju. To view our channel, please follow Radio Afinju on Facebook, X, and YouTube. The news was edited by Bukola Karim. My name is Pearl Durotoye. Thanks for listening. Good evening.
That was the world news on Radio Afinju. For the best music,